Welcome back. We billed it as Game of the Night on court surfing. It was not Game of the Night worthy. The Cavaliers win 114-91 and shut down the Boston Celtics. And high-five some fans, too, which was super awkward. But my takeaway here, Megan McPeak, I'll start with you. Do you believe this Celtics team can beat the Cavs in a 7-game series?
No.
Okay. Dan?
Not ready for prime time.
Okay.
The Celtics are a nice team. They haven't won. This team hasn't won a playoff round. They haven't won a playoff road game. They're nowhere near the caliber of LeBron and the Cavs. No, I do not think they could beat the Celtics.
Ryan
Cavs.
Dickinson.
I concur. I agree. I do not believe they can beat the Cavs in 7 games.
One of the tougher questions I've asked all year.
Well, I think there are a couple teams in the East who could beat the Cavs.
Okay, because that was my next question. Was this a statement game by the
was.
Cavaliers saying that, guess what? As much as you guys think we're struggling, we are still head and shoulders above the rest of the Eastern Conference. I'll let you bookend this, but do you believe that that was a statement game and that they still have a separation from the rest of this conference?
I don't think they're that far above everyone else.
Really?
I don't. I do think Boston's right there. I do think Toronto's
What?
right there.
Boston's right there? Especially
They're
after
close.
what you saw last night?
They're close. I mean,
they're like a player away?
They're definitely
like
a player
Kevin
away.
Durant
They
away.
could have used maybe an acquisition at the trade deadline.
Gordon
They
Hayward.
chose not to. That would have been nice. Butler, Paul George. I mean, the list goes on
You're
and
not
on.
going to sign any players at this point in the season, though. So
No, they are who they are, and they have who they have, and
they are who we thought they were.
Exactly.
The Celtics. Meg?
Their ceiling is not the roof.
Nope.
But no,
Their ceiling
I
is level 200.
I agree with Ryan in the sense of I don't think the Cavs are that far above everyone else
Really?
anymore. I think teams are starting to figure out how they, with the rosters they have, can match up against them, can game plan for them, can figure out how they can try and stop the supporting cast around LeBron. And I mean, if you're going to allow LeBron to beat you and he's going to go for 40, if you can score 42 points, you're good. But I mean, at the end of the day, when you look at the Eastern Conference, I think teams are starting to figure out how they can try and get to a level where they can compete with the Cleveland Cavaliers and at least take them to push them further and further.
Yeah, you disagree. Cut her off.
My ears.
Don't
My
be a
ears.
gentleman. Don't be a
What
gentleman.
are you guys talking about?
Oh, let's hear it. Give it to her, Dan.
Cleveland has LeBron James.
Yep.
Nobody in the East, they're just not that close right now. I think they're much farther apart than you're talking about. I don't think Boston is anywhere near
I'll agree with you on
Cleveland.
that.
They have LeBron James. The four of us could go out there with LeBron, and we'd beat the Celtics. I mean, there's
I know
really,
I would. I don't know about you.
Well, I would just stand on the three-point line and chuck bricks, okay? But, like, I'm sorry. The Cavs are still far and away. They're the seasoned team.
Okay.
They have the best player. They have maybe the second best player, at least in the playoffs. So, no, right now they are heads and tails above everybody else in the East. But it was not a statement game. They don't make statement games in the regular season, as LeBron might say. Their statements will come in the postseason.
Well, I don't know. It spoke volumes to me, so I took a statement out of it.
It
Ryan,
said something, yeah.
Based on how they've been playing, I'm assuming.
It
recently.
said something more about Boston than what.
Good point. So, but here's my question for you, Ryan. With all being said, are the Cavs the biggest opponent the Cavs have this playoffs?
I believe so, yes.
If you look-
Despite the fact that there's internal turmoil going on, I think every team needs a
Shouts
little
out
bit
to
of.
Tristan Thompson.
Yeah, everybody needs a little bit of conflict. They need a little wake-up call from time to time, and there was honest conversations had. And we've seen that with more than just the Cleveland Cavaliers so far this season and other seasons.
Is this almost necessary for this Cavs team? Because you think about the long runs they've had, the seasons they've had to play. Is it almost necessary for this rocky road to happen, kind of to keep them engaged?
No, I don't think that narrative is what the Cavaliers are looking at. I think they do have two teams that they not maybe legitimately concerned about, but they are keeping an eye on. And Brian Windhorst said it on ESPN. In the East, the Raptors are the team Cleveland's keeping an eye on, and that's the one who they think could maybe challenge them a little bit because the Raptors are the seasoned team now to challenge them in the East. But the one team I think Cleveland would be concerned about is the Golden State Warriors. When we get down to brass tacks, that's the only team I think in the league that can beat Cleveland 4 games.
I'm going to stop sending Dan the script because he's stealing all my segues.
You asked the
So
question.
the perfect segue, the next question, with Kevin Durant returning and the Warriors returning to playing an all-world pace and level, is the West all but theirs, Megan McPeak?
I would say yes, but I would not be surprised if the Spurs managed to figure out a way to beat them in 4 games.
So yes, but no.
Yes, but no. It all depends on when we add Kevin Durant back into the mix.
How are
which
the
Golden
Spurs
State-
going to beat the Warriors? how.
Anybody can
do you
win
mean
on
how?
a given day.
But that's why they play 7 games.
I know, but
There's no way the Spurs can beat them 4 times. The Spurs.
Did anyone
couldn't
take
even
that double dribble, by
the
the way?
Spurs couldn't even get out of the first round last year.
Okay, first off, I'd just like to point out that the league is letting Steph Curry double dribble now. Like that's
They all double dribble.
No,
they
no,
all carry.
everyone
They
double
all
dribbles. Everyone
travel.
travels.
That's how the game's
He literally
played.
did this,
But to answer
then
your
picked up the
question-
ball, and then dribbled again, and then whatever. But
But to answer your question, the Golden State Warriors are coming out of the West, but I would not be surprised if a team can push them in a 7-game series. And I think the Spurs and the Rockets have the best chance in the West to be the team that pushes them in a 7-game series.
Like OKC did last year. OKC
Yeah.
took them to 7.
To 7. I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park for Golden State in the
Okay.
West, but I definitely think there's going to be
I do.
competition. And on any given night, the ball could fall the right way for
I
the
love how
team.
no one's mentioning my sleeper team, the Rockets, but Ryan
I
Dickinson.
just did.
I figured the
I wasn't
Thunder
paying
would be
attention
your
to you,
sleeper
obviously.
team.
Knowing
Knowing you.
Ryan, let me throw this at you quickly. Kevin Durant's gonna have to work his way back into rhythm with this group. While he was gone, Steph Curry didn't return to his MVP form, but he kind of found his game. What do you think the relationship is going to be like there once Kevin Durant comes back? Do you think they can find this chemistry? That
I think it's going to be perfectly fine.
really, you're one of those guys.
I never was at the beginning of the year. Katie got off to a strong start. The team struggled. Now the team's finding themselves again. So I think it's going to be an easy transition
Really?
when Katie comes back into the fold. I do.
I'm one of those guys too. I think
Yeah.
that combination devastating for anybody who goes
Well, we're
against
throwing up some numbers here. The last 10 games while KD been out.
That looks like
Boys been
MVP
in.
numbers to me.
What? Well, they weren't KD numbers when KD was there. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, can this continue to roll?
I think the KD injury, as tough as it is, I think it was a little bit of a blessing in disguise for the Golden State Warriors.
Kind of like
They
the Kyle Lowry
were-
injury for
Exactly.
the Raptors.
They were able to figure things out as a unit, and now they can slowly, well, not slowly because they've only got a couple games left, but they can implement KD back into this chemistry. And I think KD's been able to see how they're playing without him and find how he can add himself back in. So I think it's going to be even scarier than what it was before he went down.
Okay, cool. We got to go to commercial break quickly, but when we return, surprise, surprise, we're going to talk about the Knicks. Why? Because there's reason to. First off, Derrick Rose down and out for the rest of the season. Carmelo's got an interview coming up with Phil Jackson. I'd like to be a fly on the wall for that, but they'd be throwing things, so that fly might die. We'll be back. Hey!